Welcome, pals. This is Pantheon Pal Evil Halfjaw, and joining me today is Mastermind.
And today we decided to go on a little nostalgia trip and jump into a little old school RuneScape. Now today this video in the background is just going to be kind of us going through a little bit of Tutorial Island. So that's just going to be something that's going on in the background while we talk about some of our adventures and just some of our past experiences that we had when we played the game while we were younger.
And in the past, to give you a little reference, we probably started RuneScape. For me, it was around 2004.
And probably for me, it was around 2006.
So I was about 10 years old, to kind of give you a little frame of reference. So it's hard for me to remember some of these things.
Yeah, and some of the things that I remember are just they're hard to explain. I mean, they just took way longer than I thought they were going to, and now they just don't take that long at all. And it's just some interesting things to talk about, really.
I remember getting, just being completely poor when I was really young. I feel like I only remember like 10,000 gold in my bank account at a time, even though I was probably making bank maybe, but who knows.
Yeah, I remember whenever I was first started and I got my first 1,000 gold pieces, and I thought I might be one of the richest people in RuneScape. I thought there was nothing that was going to stop me now that I had my first 1,000 gold.
Yeah, I thought you was a multi-billionaire of RuneScape, going to control all the markets.
Yeah, I was ready to take over. RuneScape and run a monopoly. I don't even know. I was ready to rumble after I seen that stack of gold icon change from the little stack to the big stack when you get the 1,000 gold.
Yeah. I remember back when we played, when we farmed for resources, I definitely did a lot of rune essence farming and or mining, I guess it'd be called. But we have to go to the bank and then just general chat to have someone take a hit and buy it from you.
Yeah, for me, I really liked a woodcut a lot. At least I thought I liked a woodcut a lot. When I looked back at my woodcutting level and it was only 73 or something, I guess I realized that I really didn't spend that much time on it. But when I was younger, I sure felt like I spent a lot of time on that skill, even though I guess I didn't really.
Yeah, and after this video, I've already played a little bit more past this, and I've got up to 60 in a day or two, I feel in woodcutting. So it really puts it in a frame of reference of how quick you can actually grind it out when you are actually a little bit more competent and older.
And you don't have that short attention span that I didn't realize I had when I was younger.
Yeah, when I was playing on probably dial-up internet too, so the sound. It wasn't a pleasant time, but it probably wasn't the fastest, and it probably had issues running RuneScape, to be honest.
Yeah, for me, I just remember the quests and how long they were to do. I remember some of the quests, I remember Dragon Slayer, I thought I was never ever going to be able to do that quest. And there was just some other quests in the game that I've done recently since I started playing again, and I think they probably took me anywhere from 30 to 40 minutes, and when I was younger, they probably took me close to a week to do. So it's a pretty big time difference there.
I don't think I ever completed Dragon Slayer when I was a kid, but I remember Black Knight's Fortress, and I went through and replayed that quest here again recently, and it took me 10 minutes to do, honestly. I walked in with the things I needed to have, and walked out, and when I was a kid, I don't even remember the little secret passage. As soon as you walk in the side door, and you can just click that wall, and you can just go right up and do your thing and leave, pretty much. And I remember dying there multiple times when I was a kid.
Yeah, I didn't even realize that you had to have the anti-dragon shield when you went to Dragon Slayer, so I died a couple times just going in there and dying because I didn't realize what was wrong. I thought I just had to have a shield. But I remember completing that quest and slaying that dragon, and I was just king of the world at that point as well. It was just a great time. I think that another really great thing that I remember, though, back in the day was when the Grand Exchange just wasn't there. For me, it was just one of those things that you could go to the forums, and the forums were so alive. Everybody trading people, and it seemed like the community was a lot more engaged with each other. As in today with the Grand Exchange, I know there's mixed feelings about it, but I just feel that it really killed a lot of the community, a lot of the community and social aspects of trying to barter people, trying to cut people down, there's no bank cells anymore. I remember back in the day, I'd drag everything I could out of my bank and have a B cell, trying to get some extra money. But
when they're people who set up companies and stuff in the forums.
I remember there was some mining companies back in the day. Whenever those rich millionaire people in the game would set up some companies, and basically you would work for those companies. Say you'd mine iron ore, they'd give you an order, so they'd say, yeah, you need to mine 1,000 iron ore, and you'd go mine it. and they'd pay you, say, I think it was like around 100 gold pieces at the time, and then they would turn around and be the middleman essentially and just sell it to the buyer for like 110, 115 gold pieces per ore, and they would just keep that extra profit there without having to do the work themselves. So it was interesting.
Yeah, I always remember going on like certain items that I remember getting as a kid and just thinking, wow, I've really achieved it. I'm the master of RuneScape now. And one of those items was was it the Rune Essence shield, or what's that shield called? It's like clear and it has the color border around it.
The elemental shield.
Elemental shield. And yeah, I remember doing that, and I was just extremely happy when I got that, because I was a cool kid then.
Yeah.
When having that shield displayed around. And same with like the capes that had all the cutouts, like the stripes on them. What are those capes called? Do you remember?
I think they were team capes.
Oh yeah, team capes. Yeah, he was definitely a BA person walking around then when he acquired one of those babies.
Yeah, there was I remember my first time I got my full rune. Full rune was just something that I thought was just top of the food chain there at the time. I knew that there was borrows above that, if you remember, and I just remember people that had borrows, I thought they were just absolute gods at the game. I just remember getting rune, and I felt like I was just like getting to that top tier kind of level. And I remember a couple months after I got my first ever set of full rune, I got scammed, lost it all in the wilderness. Someone said they were making a YouTube video and they wanted me to be in it. All I had to do was skull them, and I was like, oh, cool, I'm gonna be a YouTube sensation here. So I sculled them, and there was a whole bunch of people that jumped on me and killed me. I lost all my rune armor, and it was a very sad day for me.
I was one of those kids that I was like, oh, I can get rune armor now, but I can wear that really cool black knight armor because it's awesome looking and it's all black. And so I just totally ran around with black armor, even though.
Another thing for me was I became a member pretty early on. I was only playing for a couple months, and then I was able to convince my parents that paying $5 a month for the game was worth it, because I was playing it so much that I wanted to become a member, and I wanted to be able to access all those cool things that members had.
Yeah, I remember being a free-to-play for quite a little bit, and then both of our friend Mike, he was a member, and he had shown me all these cool things, and I'm like, I gotta have it. So I convinced my parents into buying the membership also, so I can do some of those shortcuts. I think I was really wanting those shortcuts for some reason.
Yeah, just becoming a member in the game was just such a an opening experience. You got to access so much more of the game. I thought this game was already big whenever I was younger. I just thought the free-to-play world was already just so large. And then I became a member, and I was like, there's no way I'm ever going to have time to explore all this. And I never did when I was younger, because I just didn't have the attention span to even get to those places.
Yeah, I feel like I just got mainly stuck to the city, right past the snowy mountain there, that pass there. I remember being in free-to-play, and I think you have to run through the whole place to get to the other side of the map. But when you're a member, you can just hop over. And I know my friend would just hop over, and he's like, I'll see you on the other side. And I've sometimes died trying to get over.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just when you become a member, it's just there's so many better ways to access certain areas. And it's just, there's some things that are locked behind quests, but just doing those quests don't take very long at all. Half an hour maybe an hour for the longer ones. But just the amount of things that you can get in terms of just teleportation abilities, shortcuts, and all this other stuff just makes that $5 a month just seem so worth it, because of the time that you save from being able to be a member.
Yeah, I know as a free player, you do all those quests and they hardly give you a certain XP for certain skills, whereas a lot of the member quests give you a crap ton of XP for attack or defense or mining, so you level up really quick when you're a member because of those experience gains.
Yeah, it's just so much an easier way to make money. I remember back free to play, you could only mine regular essence, and members had the ability to mine pure essence. If you're on a member's world, you just mine pure essence instantly, and then if you're not member, or if you're on a free to play world, you had to mine regular essence, and the pure essence was worth considerably more. So it's just even becoming a member and just mining the same essence you always had. If you were doing that back in the day, you could jump from 100 GP for the rune essence to 150 GP just for the pure essence. So it's you're already making 50 GP more per essence, and just by being a member. So it's just those simple ways to make money.
Yeah, and it's now, if you play now, you can get a lot more GP for doing a lot of more tasks that members have because they have so much more skills. But now they've like introduced like that bond system, or if you have, I don't know, do you know the number that you need to buy a bond, like 1.5 mil
I think
ish?
it's over a mil, but I don't think it's over 2 mil, but that kind of varies.
Yeah, but yeah, you can just purchase membership now with GP. So if you are a member, or if you're free to play and you just really grind to get that first membership, then you have the experience to know what things are selling for crazy. You can just keep continuation of your membership just by buying bonds now. That's a really cool feature that I always thought was cool.
Yeah, I think that having the bonds in there helps out a lot of people that might not be able to pay for it with real life money, and they're already spending the time to play the game. So just like one of those things that you spend the time and you kind of get a little reward for it by not having to pay for the membership. But yeah, I think that once you become that member, you make that leap over the membership. I mean, even if you only had, I know membership's a little bit more money now. They're getting ready to raise the rates again, be about $11 now. But I know that if you pay, even if you just pay the $11 for 1 month and you had that 30 days to be a member, you could make enough money in those 30 days if you could grind it out as a member. I mean, you could easily pay for the next couple months in that first month just by paying that first $11, and after that you can just sail on through if you actually want to grind it out and have the dedication to actually get that money.
Yeah, I know I just jumped back into it here recently in the past couple weeks, but I've been like kind of sticking to free to play for now, and I've just been kind of doing all the free to play quests, and I've been kind of leveling up my skills like around 40-ish, because that's kind of the cap for a lot of your free to play items like pickaxes and certain like armor sets and stuff. So I've been kind of getting to there. And then after that, I'm just gonna try to build enough currency just to buy a bond if I don't just end up paying for membership out of my wallet, and then just be able to cruise on from there and try to complete the rest of the quest.
Yeah, another thing I really like about the whole old school thing too is that I feel like the actual community management's a lot smaller for Jagex, but I feel like there's a lot more people that play this game, or at least the people that do play old school RuneScape versus RuneScape 3 now, is just like the people in this old school worlds are just so much more dedicated. And like I love the whole poll system that they have. I like that poll system, and you can go in and actually vote for the changes that are going to be coming in. I feel like that's a really good way to like reach out to the community and make sure that that's the direction the community wants, and not just what like Jagex wants. It's actually like what the majority of the community wants. So I think that's really cool that they're actually doing that now as well, so there's not overwhelming people.
Yeah, for me it's always been kind of like a nostalgia factor, because I believe I tried to jump into the new. I was like, you know what? I haven't tried RuneScape in so many years. I might jump into it. And then at the time they only had the new RuneScape 3, and I kind of played it for a little bit, and I just kind of got burned out really quick, and I just didn't like the feel because it wasn't my RuneScape, to be honest. And then I didn't realize that they ended up releasing this old school RuneScape back. So hearing about that from my friends here, my pals, recently, I was like, yeah, I'll definitely give it another shot now.
Yeah, I think it's definitely good that I gave it another shot too, because I feel like it's just like the whole game is actually opening up to me for the first time. Because when I was younger, I mean, I knew it was there, but now I'm actually able to reach those like areas in the map and stuff, and doing the quests and unlocking those areas that I didn't even have access to back then. So I feel like it's part like nostalgia and part just actually exploring an area that I never got to explore when I was younger.
And being able to have the competency to like strategically plan quest, so you can like take on 2 to 3 quests at a time. Be like, okay, all these quests are going to be in this town and Lumbridge, so you can go to Lumbridge and take out all those quests, and then you can go to the next place, do those quests. Or if you know that a certain quest is going to need certain items, then it's like, oh, while I'm swinging through here, I can pick up those items for this quest. When I was a kid, I had no idea how to plan because I was like very focus-minded, single-minded, like I gotta do this quest, and so it took me like an hour to do a quest anyways. So the amount of time that I put into RuneScape is nowhere. I'm already past where I was as a kid, and I've only played for like a few days for the past couple weeks.
All right, but that's kind of just been our thoughts on the game, kind of our past and present experiences that we've kind of had, and we'd really like to kind of hear your guys' thoughts and opinions, any kind of past experiences that you guys might have had, or maybe even your present experiences.
Yeah, and if you're definitely on the fence about coming back to RuneScape, or if it's worth coming back to RuneScape, or even getting membership, I think it's definitely worth it, and just give it a little taste, and if it doesn't hook you then maybe try it again in a little while. This game is always updating, and I've enjoyed it the last couple weeks that I've played it, and I'm definitely continuing to play it.
Yeah, so if you like this discussion, though, make sure you drop us a like and make sure to let us know if you actually like these, if you like our conversations that we're having. We want any feedback that you guys can give us, so any feedback would be great.
And thank you again for watching our video, and this is Pantheon Pals. Join you next time.